Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going? Well, first let's do our intro. Hi, I'm Darnell.
Hi, I'm Angela.
And you're watching Garrison House. Okay, hey, we are here today.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to be here.
Yes,
on this February. So much things going on in February, right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's Black History Month, or it depends how you know. It's an international celebration of Black History, by the way. It's not just Americans, so it's celebrated in many other countries outside the United States. So just want to set that clear with people.
We had Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and you went live on Valentine's Day.
Yes, I did. My first live by myself without my hubby.
Well, I don't know, because you did call for answer.
Well, I was on the camera by myself. So he was my engineer. His Valentine's Day gift to me was helping me with my live show.
And it was actually fun.
Yes, I had a great time. You go over to my page. It's on my personal page, and you will see it.
Yeah, it was actually a fun live stream with her, and it was.
We talked about Valentine's Day and love and women. It was girls' night out, but technically girls' night in for all the single women who didn't have who was home alone. I didn't want them to feel.
Women too.
Well, I'm saying, yes, for single, married men, whoever else was out there. It could be brothers.
We weren't on that.
No, you weren't. But it's just about so that way you didn't run home alone. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it was fun. Her set, she had her products on her table.
And too bad he didn't get no picture for it.
No.
That's all right, baby. We catch it on the next one.
Here's what's going to happen. We were talking about this before we went live. I said, once we get our set built, I said, my half is going to be one way, her half is going to be other. So she'll probably have all her stuff on her side, and my side I have my stuff. So, when we get our set, once we get our studio put together, hopefully this spring, summer, whenever, we'll get to it. So we won't be stuck down here. It's not a bad thing. Everybody has humble beginnings, okay?
This is our office space. So this is where we do it, our office space. So we're going to have, it's all right. It's a podcast.
Right. And this is, like she said, this is our actual real office space. This is where when I have meetings, Zoom meetings, Google Meets meetings, and all kind of meetings. This is where the meetings take place. I used to have this camera and this whole setup. I got to the point where I just went back to headsets and a microphone because it gets a little cumbersome setting it up. So I'm like, hey, you just deal with the camera on the computer. But it's all fun.
Yes, we had a great old, so we, but I didn't do it here. So you guys, go over there, look at it. Go over, check a look, and see how I set it up. It's going to was nice and fun.
Yep. And we got some people who just came on. We have Juan Johnson. What's up, Juan?
Hey, Juan. Long time no see.
Yeah, and he has his podcast, Morning Coffee, on Facebook. He's a podcaster as well. We used to work together in the CTN days.
Yes, Morning Coffee.
And we had Linda Darby from
Hi, Linda. Thanks, Linda. Thank you for joining us. Hi.
So we see you all. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is going to be a fun, very fun. We only had 2 topics, and our primary topic is the one that I'm looking forward to, which is the season of love. Since we came out of Valentine's Day,
season of love.
It's going to be really fun. Pop culture. Now it may be a little semi-politically, but it's not in a choosing sides situation. However, it's going to be fun.
Might be a little spicy.
Yeah, a little spicy. Some of the things, current events that's going on. So this pop culture is more like some of the stuff that's gone on over the last 2 weeks since we were last with you all. It's been kind of hot and spicy.
In February.
It's been a very historic month for real.
Yes.
Spicy historic month. So we won't go into that all the way right now. It's just so much going on. And then I forgot the other thing we were going to talk about in our intro. Well, let's go ahead and just jump on over to our Inside Pop Culture.
Inside Pop Culture.
So we're going on in there. Oh, my goodness. Now, she's been... she's been screaming at her phone on this one. The case down there in Georgia.
Yes. I'm not, without going into politics, we got that case. I'm not quite sure how she pronounced Fannie
Willis.
She's she's not on trial, but they're trying to see if she has to be disqualified because of her relationships she had with one of her subordinates.
Yeah.
So that one was a little spicy. That's going spicy. On in Georgia right now.
I don't even have any hot sauce nearby to tell you how spicy that one is.
So yes, that's a little spicy. I'm not going to go into anything.
No, we're not going on any.
We're just saying what's out there and things that are going on right now. I mean, this world is going crazy.
Yeah, went upside down. Right is right. Right is left. Left is right.
Right. I've never seen so much craziness that's happening right now. I'm like, oh Lord, you know what? You need Jesus. To figure out what's going on right now. We had some wisdom.
We had Jesus, holy water, blessed water. All need to be splashed on them.
I'm like,
they need everything on this, some of the people in this world. And I find it amazing that, even though how people pick sides and they want to make sure everybody's right, but nobody sits down and thinks logically.
Right.
Well, maybe there's something. Everybody's just picking a side. It's like, oh my god.
Well, that's the norm. So if you're for Fannie, you're going to find reasons to back her up and right. with her. If you're against her, you're going to find reasons and nitpick everything that she said. So that's pretty much what it is. That's anything.
Yeah,
you're going to be for somebody. You're going to be against somebody. Then you can find anything to nitpick against the person and find out their faults and things like that. But if you open your eyes and really see what's going on, it's more deeper than this what it is, Yeah. So it's a little spicy going on right now.
I'm gonna break it down
there in Georgia.
I'm going to say is
Fulton County.
Going to the faith. We are people of faith. Yes. It's a spiritual situation. That's what it boils down to. The spirit of pride. Everybody's proud.
Everybody's
so proud, and they can't.
Right.
They can't.
They don't understand.
Right.
Okay, right, can you open your eyes and see? I mean, nobody wants to be wrong.
Right.
I mean, that's just nature of man.
Well, it's really elevated in this season with social media and how pop culture is running. Right. No one wants to be wrong. And I believe I said the other day, people live off of dopamine. I know we talked about some things privately. Dopamine is where, like, those for us who are podcasters. So say, for instance, this conversation we're having now, all of a sudden, this conversation gets tens of thousands of views. Okay, that for some people is like a huge dopamine high. Now, I'll be grateful for that many views, by the way, or that many people are listening to our podcast. Mm-hmm. So the dopamine high says they're going to chase that high. So people on social media are constantly doing things to get attention. They may have one post that got 3,000 views, 4,000, tens of thousands of views. And they'll do another one, and they may get a little less, and then it goes down, and next they go into depression. And that's that dopamine where people are so into being right, having the next great hit to where they can't stop. And the same thing going on with this Georgia situation, bringing it into that. Everybody wants to be in front. Everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to say, maybe I'm wrong. Now, am I guilty of that? Yeah. She can tell you that. I'm guilty of that. Every once in a while, I still do that.
Honey?
Yeah.
Can you, no, I was just saying, honey, can you, think about it first before you start debating myself?
I know I'm guilty of it because I'm guilty of it. I'm human.
Now, I said, whatever. I'm not saying what the testimony, I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. But I think it's kind of bad that you dragged your father into this. Have to go on stand to prove. Poor daddy.
As a dad, I was sitting there going, I don't even know why.
I mean, right? It's got a drag.
As a dad, I'm like,
daddy.
I don't know what was going on
you drag anybody
in that relationship.
I
just helped raise this child. I don't know what.
That's terrible.
But
dad's in the court and listen to all this mess.
And dad's probably looking at in the back. See, from a father's perspective, there's a lot of things going on in our mind. Someone was like, did I mess up somewhere? How did this happen? You start going through your background, like maybe it was me. Maybe maybe I don't know what it was. maybe I did something wrong. Maybe as a father, you're constantly thinking, even actually in general, as parents in general, you're always thinking when your child goes through something.
I think he probably took her in the back room. had a nice little talking with her.
Some parents back in the day would go get the finger whipping is one thing, but then there's another the mouth whipping with a bunch of expletives, and then you had the next level, which is you know back in our day, back as those of us who are born in the 70s, back in our day, we all know what the other action was, and it really wasn't a fun action.
With the tree and the branch.
Oh no, yeah, well, get the tree branch off the tree, as the grandparents would tell you, because you know
the broom.
No, the bell.
What are you saying? The bell. Oh.
But we won't talk about the tree branches because when they came to clean these ducks out years before my grandparents passed away, they found all the tree branches in the.
Oh Lord! Alrighty then.
I didn't know I did all that. I was just, I was getting in trouble for a little bit. Some things.
It's so yeah, there's a lot going on in pop culture these days. Then we had what's going on in New York. We have everything it's really distraction. Yeah. It's really distraction, and it's politics. And it's time for us to vote for a new president. So everybody's pulling out every distraction, everything they can to make sure that their candidate is in office. So we're not choosing, we're not picky, we're not fighting, but we're just saying that make sure you know for yourself and read in between the lines, and make sure that you know for sure, so that way the right person. Hopefully, because nowadays I don't even,
we don't even know who's right or wrong
anymore. Right?
It don't matter. We don't even know anymore.
Right?
Like,
just making sure, because right now, if you ain't prayed up, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Everything has every choice in life has consequences. Like for example, if you know you have to pay your light bill, however you want to go and splurge on a huge dinner, a really nice dinner at a fine restaurant, you just spent your whole check on dinner, but your electric bill was due on Friday. They're gonna cut you off on Monday. Next thing you know, you're realizing, oh man, I gotta pay my electric bill, and that's gonna be X amount of hundreds of dollars. Now you're up here like, okay, how am I gonna pay for that? I just spent all my money on the dinner. That's a consequence.
Well, that's living in the moment.
Yeah, you're living in the moment.
That's young people's thought. You live in that moment because you say, well, my bill ain't due in 2 days, but I got the money now, and I don't want to hang out with my friends or whatever you want to do. That's nobody never plans for the future or plans for the next time. So everybody wants to live in that moment. So that's exactly what we're going on here. We want to live in that moment.
And that goes to our other part about people saying, what was that about? Do older people keep money in the house? Now, let me preface this. Now, y'all need to go. Now, I normally don't promote I don't promote a lot of movies. So I watched a Joe Smith movie yesterday. I watched Dance with the Devil. All I can say is, wow. I mean, when I finished watching, I said, wow. But however, there's one question that I thought of. Do older people really keep money at home? We were talking about this earlier. Do older people really keep cash in their house?
Yes. Well, that was going back to, I think it was the Great Depression when the banks when the banks fell. So people were jumping off of roofs. And it's not, to me, it's not really a black thing. Or it's just people during that time. These people were killing themselves, suicide, jumping off of roofs, because it was just the banks were falling. So when everything, I guess, subsided, so now, and bank robberies, so they started keeping money at home, which is probably true. So which is true, they probably did start keeping money. I remember people keeping money in the mattresses, drawers, and whatever.
Oh, I remember you had a woman who was living on the street. She was homeless. And when she passed away, they counted the money she had, and they were like, "This one was using today's vernacular. She had stacks." They were like,
"I think that's
why
more
was she?
about."
Why was she? That was we know it's a mental situation. However, she had. Who would have thought that this elderly woman had that much money in her? She was rolling around with that much money. So
I'm growing up, we found money. I said we were talking about that. We found money in our couches, cushions. we would run to the penny store to get some candy. I mean, it's like, I don't know, but it is true. Grandmas and grandpas sometimes used to go into the back room or in their bedroom.
My grandma did.
And grab a couple of dollars and say, here, that's how life goes now.
And don't you dare follow them.
No.
Don't you dare follow them.
Just sit there and wait for them to find it.
Don't follow them because they. Now I did. One time my grandma she did go to her stash, but back in the day, you better not follow them.
And sometimes women have stashes
in places that you don't even.
I used to work and I worked retail pretty much all my life. Oh, not all my life.
No,
my jobs. I worked retail, and we had some money, boy. I mean, I literally did. Well, at least this woman had it in a plastic bag.
Oh, you talking about when you're ringing people up and
they go in and they pull the money out. But this person actually had it in plastic bag, so took it out the plastic bag.
Yeah, when I was doing my Radio Shack days, I had a woman who did that, and I was like, okay, and it was kind of moist.
It's amazing that nowadays currency is not as there's no currency going back and forth. A lot of countries now they don't even use currency. China, for instance, they have a whole app you have to download, and everything you do it on the app. It's like you try and break out. They do have currency, but when somebody try to break, they'd be like, no, we don't do currency. Scan the barcode because hey, they scan the little QR code.
Everything has moved to cashless, semi-cashless. I'm telling you honestly, I still like cash because one thing I like about carrying cash on me, even though pop culture is trying to lean into something different, I like carrying cash in some situations, especially when traveling. Well, I used to enjoy carrying cash because now going to the airport, you have to have a card. I went to one airport. They said all we take is credit cards, and I'm like, I've been scammed at the airport. Yeah. And since then, I noticed some processors such as PayPal changed their policies now, where with PayPal, especially in business, we had a little bit of overdraft protection where it would transfer to get the money out your bank. Well, they quit doing that, and that's been a learning curve to keep things in balance.
These sky cabs, boy. Nowadays, the one we were coming home from Atlanta and Georgia, and he took Cash App, Venmo, Apple. I mean, it's like,
I remember
dude. So he made sure you get his tip.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I remember him. I was at the trip with you because you told me about that.
I told you about it.
No, I had another situation where I had the same thing where somebody they took Cash App. I had cash. Now when I travel, I try to carry a little bit of funds with me. Not much. I don't carry much with me. Just enough to cover my tips because I'm one of them big brothers who have to be. At this present moment, I'm pushed I go to the wheelchair section, just being transparent. So I make sure I tip the person that pushes me. So I have a standard tip if you just push me straight through. But if you're going to take some time with me, run me to the restroom and help me get my water, and then we're going to run me to the store to go get something, I bless you a little bit more. And so I tip. There's been times, I think my last trip, I think I may have did like $50 in tips round trip. And so I try to, you see that look? But see, that's there and back. That's there and back.
Well, I think we're gonna go back to tipping society, but I think we had something else to talk about, how people are complaining about tipping now. But anyway, so I think we're moving on to the next one, right? For pop culture, was it the?
Was that when I saved? I actually screenshot it. I know you're so creative, Edie. She's been posting some interesting videos. Do you want to talk about this one here? A quick one.
Okay.
The TikTok. Okay, this just in. I always wanted to say that. A TikTok. Oh, lost it. We don't have this on the screen. Literally, this just came in. TikTok went viral on the internet.
Was this one about Season of Love, or should we do it on pop culture?
No, let's do this in pop culture because she's dating a guy who supposedly has a great personality. Okay, she says, but he was broke. And her question led to some pushback and her boyfriend discovering the video. Now, look here. We're going to go into some of the stuff. This is a little bit of precursor into the Season of Love. I'm going to say this about the whole thing. He has a great personality. Okay. Do you like the guy? Does he treat you well, and define broke.
Okay. So, what was that?
What?
The screen came in and come out.
Oh, that's right, because it was.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. So, my thing is this: if now when we met, we weren't at 100%. So we just enjoyed our time spent together. That's my thing. Okay. Now, if define what do you mean by broke, but if he's not planning on bringing nothing to the relationship at the time, then he may have a nice personality, but are you attracted to him?
Yeah.
Okay, because if you're attracted to him, then you can work with whatever situation that you're in. Because if he ain't got does he have a job, or is he has a job, or he has child support, or is he half his check going to other stuff or whatever? So that's a lot of variables. Just to say that he has a nice personality and he's broke, that's no room for a relationship, because he has a nice personality and he's broke. Are you attracted? Do you see potential? Is he out there trying to get a job? Is he not? He ain't want to get a job. Now, if he ain't trying to get no job, like, okay, I'm watching this show right now where he's out of high school, but he ain't want a job. So he's asking his sister for money to go out with these girls. So it's like, yes. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's asking his sister, doing little odds and ends. Okay. And everything is $50, no matter what it is. And she's like, why is everything $50? Why do you always need 50?
Well, you got to pay for the gas. And Happy Meals are no longer $2.
So at this time nowadays, but he's young. He's only 19, 20 years old, so he can do this. At what age we are at? So if the guy is on the video talking about, well, you talking about me? Then he's going to move on faster than you are.
And honestly, in my thoughts from that perspective was, as soon as he saw the video, he'd probably say, hey, this relationship is done. It's gone by. It's like some videos, if you're on Facebook, you've seen some of those videos, Secret Millionaire, where the guy played to be broke and all this stuff, and kind of found out he's a multi-millionaire.
I was watching the show. I think I mentioned this a while back. I think around our first show, I was watching the show, and he was a millionaire, and he was playing games with the girl. And so to see where she gonna stand, was she gonna be with me if I had, but don't play games either. Stop playing no games. We ain't got time for that. We all grown.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, my thing is, in that situation with the TikTok, I think honestly, that's another problem we have with pop culture today. We put too much of our business out there on the socials. Mm-hmm. We talk too much. We tell too much. Because that's one of those situations. Back in the day, you used to talk to your friend, hey, this girl, she's really nice, but she's kind of materialistic, but I love her. She got a great personality, and I think I can do something for her. And then on her side, she said, well, he's broke, and he ain't got nothing. But you don't know what he's thinking. Yeah. But we air too much. This is there's something we talk about that y'all don't need to know everything we talk about.
It's okay for a woman to want certain things in a relationship.
Exactly. And that's expected.
And flowers, candy, going out, spending time, movies, carnivals, I don't know.
We get ready to have fun because we got that infamous list has come back out.
So it's okay to want to go somewhere, but if nobody ain't got no money and no job, and all you doing is sitting at home, can go so far.
Well, no.
You know what I'm saying?
A 2 a.m. call can only go so far. Just to say that way,
at this point, right. At this point, what is the relationship leading to?
We'll use the more Big Bang Theory word. Coitus is not always the situation. Now, if you don't watch Big Bang Theory, you don't know what coitus is. We're just being clean on this. But yeah, that's it on pop culture. We're gonna go. I'm gonna let her tell the story because she sort of did it on her podcast, on her channel, on her Facebook page, The Season of Love. Which gave me the idea because she's about our first date and how we met. Now I'm gonna tell you my part first. So at the time, I was running Barton Cablevision here in Inkster, Channel 3. I was working with the cable company and basically creating content for the city. a lot of content. We were doing a lot of stuff in Inkster at the time. So what happened was, we were taking resumes because we just need some people who wanted to get some experience. It wasn't no payola involved. And so I had got the resume. I think she called me and I said, yeah, just send it on over. So she sent it. I think I sat on it for like a couple weeks or something like that. And then on my side of the story is I went on ahead and I called her, say, hey, come on in. Then I had my our friend Kenneth Burney, who's an artist in, I think he's in Nashville now. He's an artist, now an established artist. And so Kenneth did the interview with her, but I can remember exactly what she had on that day. Some cream heels, cream dress, cream leg, stockings. I was like, my. Now, what's so interesting is our families know each other. Our families were best of friends. I went to the same church as her grandfather, who
grandfathers went to the same church.
We knew that, so I knew her grandfather because we started dating. He was so happy. He was smiling and say, "Oh, I guess I got the blessing of Jack White." I was good to go. I was in. And then her aunt started I got their blessings. One of them got mad at me. She said, you need to come around more often. I was like, oh, okay, Aunt Thelma, okay. But it was an interesting time. But I remember when we met, then she was hanging with me. Now, at this time, World Cup Soccer was in Michigan. It was one of the states that World Cup Soccer was in. So I was actually working at the Silver Dome. So when I met her, I was really getting my mind ready to be a PA for World Cup Soccer, which was a fun event. That was 30 years ago. Whew. So working World Cup Soccer, doing that, being in the stadium. So one situation, she rode with me. And anybody who knew my grandparents know about the 77 Chrysler New Yorker. It stopped.
We pulled up to the entrance and it cut off.
It just stopped.
We didn't stop. We didn't do that. It just cut off. I'm like, what's going on?
And fortunately, the production manager let me take one of the company cars. I got her back home, got my grandfather. He followed me back, and we pulled the car back. Now, anybody know about that 77? If you know the song B-52, I got me a car as big as a well, got me a Chrysler as big as a well, something like that. Yeah, that was that car. It was huge. It was not a if you've seen, I think it was even longer than a Ford F-150. It was a huge car. All I can tell you is it had a 440 engine with a carburetor that my grandpa modified to points so it can burn diesel fuel as well as regular fuel simultaneously. Now, I'm going to let her tell her side of the story, but that's my short side.
As I was saying, all that was true, but what we debated on are the official date. I said, no, we double dated with him and his friend and his wife. But to me, that's not necessarily our official date. Our official date was Valentine's Day '95. I say that is our official.
West Point barbecue.
Yes, it was West Point barbecue. So we which is weird, going to a barbecue. As I was saying in my
the list
podcast,
is coming soon.
And that was kind of weird going to a barbecue place. Barbecue. So I don't know, but I mean, I can eat anything. He can't eat shrimp, but anyway, I can eat anything. But if I don't like it, I won't eat it, of course. But but I think that was our official day. He bought me candy. He bought me flowers. So that is our official date.
Yeah, it was an actual interesting date. It was our first date, and it was a happy date, happy time. But then we had the situation with your grandmother. That was the day that your grandmother passed.
It was.
Yep. So that was our first date. So I really can't forget the date. So it was that, and it's also the day after her aunt's birthday, right? No.
Yes.
Before or after? No, she's after.
My aunt's birthday is on the 15th.
Oh yes, her birthday is after on the 15th. So
happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Auntie Joy and Nicole.
Nicole's the 10th.
I know we missed hers.
Oh, and my niece. It's not coming up though. Catherine.
Oh yeah, hers is coming up soon. Mm-hmm. And happy birthday to all the February people. Just let y'all know, all of you who are born in February. I think
my daughter's almost born in February.
Yeah, we're getting ready. Y'all.
We're getting ready for a 21-year-old.
I don't have the picture, but we got a 21-year-old in a few weeks.
And she says, "So help us, Jesus."
Yeah, I got a 21-year. We have a 21-year-old.
Yes.
Wow, it's kind of hard to believe this time 21 years ago. She was pregnant with her. We were expecting her on March 30th, and she came early, like
4 weeks.
4 weeks early. A few days after we're getting off topic for a second. A few days after her baby shower, we really had to do a baby shower and go to the hospital the next day.
Right.
And she was born on that Monday. So yeah, that was 21 years ago, y'all. If she had a way of receiving donations, I would give it to you. Maybe the parents
give us donation.
Yeah, if for those who don't know, our Cash App is actually on the screen. It's really tiny, but it's there. Trust us, it's there. It hasn't come on the screen yet, but it's actually there. It's really small. But we're not gonna give it to you. But we were just saying we cannot believe it. But the season of love, I think about some of the things that people are saying in this season, which is amazing. Some of the things that infamous list has made a return. And if you want to know what that list is, well, here it is. The list of places women refuse to go on their first date.
So they made his rounds again.
It's come back, but this time it was on television. I'm not going to do the screenshot because, I just don't do the screenshot. But again, there's the list again. Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house. Nah, I agree with number 7. Any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, any buffet. I can actually agree with that too. IHOP, Denny's, the gym. I can concur with that. So 3 things I can concur from the male perspective. I wouldn't do that anyway. Church, what's wrong with going to church on the first date? She took me to church on one of our meetings, encounters, not a date.
I got to see where he's coming from.
I had no, that's coming soon to a screen near you about that whole number 16. Starbucks, coffee dates, come on. Anyway, ice cream dates, family functions. Family functions is not a first date. Brothers, let me help you out. From the women put this together, family functions is not a first date. I can tell you that.
You took me when we were
first.
But it wasn't I don't even know it was a date. But he did drive me around. Now he drove me all the way to some area in Detroit. Now I don't even know, so he could show me off with his family. I was like, okay.
Look
I must have been desperate at the time. No, I'm just joking.
Look here. I did show her off to the family. Now, all y'all on the lemon side, y'all know I showed her. Y'all saw, believe it or not, that was my dad's side of the family. My dad saw her first, was outside my mom. I think my dad met you first. And then my mom, one of the two. My dad loved her fell in love with her. My mom was like, they had a little gripe that one time. After that, my mom was like, that's my girl. She passed the test. And I think that's what my mom was doing, was testing her.
So but it wasn't a family function.
No, it wasn't. I was not going to take her to our friend. Oh, by the way, during the time we met, also the Spirit Family Reunion was going on here in Detroit at the same. There was a lot of stuff happening. That was like a couple weeks.
He never took me there.
Right.
Which would have been family function.
No, we just
he probably would have asked me, and I probably would have gone. But
yeah, she wanted to get out the house probably. Movie night. I don't have Netflix. Well, if it's movie night at home, because I think they had the movies, so I think they meant movie night at home.
What does it say? It says Netflix, Hulu, and etc.
I don't think. Again, that goes back to your house,
right?
That's not acceptable. Somewhere that requires a long drive. If it's your first date, you just get to meet each other. I can probably agree with that. Bowling. I had no problem with bowling. That may be a get to know you.
You know the funny thing about that one? I just thought about it because my friend of mine, she was telling me that she lived in Sterling. Anyway, she somehow met somebody who lived on the way on the opposite side. So they were going either going to be halfway, or something happened, and so she ended up meeting him about an hour, 15 minutes on his side of town, and then they get in the car and they're talking about how they didn't have he kept saying he needs gas, he needs gas, he needs gas.
Okay, let's go back to that topic again.
No, or maybe no, I think this is before she's there. I think she was whatever, but anyway, something. And he was, and somehow they went somewhere, and then was driving, and he literally ran out of gas because he kept saying so. And she's like, "Well, do you need money for gas?" Because she don't want me sitting up in here with no gas. So it was the long drive, and if you make sure, men, that you at least fill up before you to get that, because long drives.
Let's refer to the pop culture one. He has a great personality, but he is broke. Okay.
I don't
know if he was broke, but
he wasn't broke.
But bro, you need to put some gas in the tank.
I mean, it was no communication into what was going on with the gas.
It don't matter. If you know you're gonna go meet somebody, that's like me saying, okay, I've risked this before. It's like me knowing I need to go to the office and I need to drive down to the office and do some work. And I'm like rushing because I forgot to get gas the other day. Now, it's been a situation I was late a couple times when Apostle got me. So you need to put gas in. I did get in trouble once for that. So I've been very mindful of that. If I have if my thing says you got 16 miles, so you need to get gas, I'm like, and I'm looking at the clock. Okay, well, I can make it there. I'm fine. There's no traffic. I'll make it. I'll take that risk. That's just me.
And they had to go to some obscured, I don't know,
backwoods gas station.
Right, to get gas. And she was like, yeah.
No, he
didn't want to get out of the car to get gas. He probably was looking at her like, go out there.
So it must have had one of those fridges, upright fridge for the freezer. If those was who traveled with CTM when we went to Texas. If y'all remember that stop we went to, and I said, I think we need to go. And they had it wasn't one of those gas stations where they had a freezer, and they were looking at you like, what you doing here?
The freezer was outside?
Yeah, I would have been like, roadside, I'm good.
So yeah, long drives. If you are going to do some long, I don't know, why would you go to a long drive or what have you? Maybe you wanted to go to the river or the or what have you.
I don't think that's
down
appropriate.
the river, but
first date.
If you then I mean, yeah, make sure you have gas in it. Now, me and my daughter were supposed to have gone bowling, but that's just me and my daughter. I don't think that was a date. I don't know why. If you enjoy bowling, I'm telling you, I could have a whole thing right now about dates because I'm watching this show right now, and this girl I call her Pamper Princess, but that's okay. You can be Pamper Princess, but she always conformed to the guy. The guy, she's Pamper Princess. The guy was what? Beer bombs and steak. Okay, she had they had a little tea thing. He loved beer, so she always conformed to him, but he never would want to conform to her. And so it was one of those things, and it just didn't work out. But she wouldn't she had a lot of stuff. So bowling would not have been something they would have done. But if you have to at least, if you are opposite of a person, you say, like I said, Pamper Princess, beer and pizza. But if you, when the guy liked to play basketball, he's a sports guy. He was an Army guy, so he loved the whole thing, climbing, biking, and all that stuff. She's young. She didn't do that stuff. But you had to at least enjoy that too, because you say, oh, you know what? I never went to watch my boyfriend play basketball. That was the whole thing, or I never went bowling before. Let me see how it works. But if you didn't like it in the first place and you don't even you never thought to do it, then there's no compatibility. At least somebody can come halfway. He never had went to a tea ritual or tea, whatever you call it. I don't know. They had a whole thing, the whole tea thing, and so he really didn't enjoy it. So, but she was into it. Now, if you kind of was something that he was into, then yeah, you can, if as long as you enjoy. So her going to watch him play basketball, she thought it was a date between them two, but come and find out he was hanging out he wanted just to hang out with his buddies to play basketball for a while. And she had sunny.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
show.
So it's sunny outside, and she's allergic to the sun. Her skin gets, but it's not whatever. But anyway, so this is something she would have never enjoyed. So that's where the compatibility, So if Darnell played basketball, which he doesn't, or whatever sports,
I'm a
or
baseball
guy. Or basketball, whatever. I mean, that's something I would enjoy to do. I said, okay, let me go watch him play. But if something I really, we're not compatible, so it will never worked out.
Yeah, I think, bowling, and then my next one is nightclubs. I mean, nightclubs is actually a really bad place. I've been, now look, I haven't been saved all my life. I've been to a few nightclubs, and I can tell you, nightclubs,
you can't get to know a person because you can yelling. I mean, look, I tried to do pop-up shops, and the music was so loud.
You were in the club.
We couldn't even talk. I mean, so it's like, that was irritating. So how am I supposed to communicate, talk to somebody if you're going to nightclubs? Now, nightclubs, if you want to go dancing or something like that or whatever, then that's after the first date, once you get to know the person, then you might go to the club. I mean, you go to clubs to meet people too. So that's another reason why you're not going to clubs as a date.
Nightclub is
go with your girlfriends.
Right. Nightclub is not the place to be talking about taking your first date.
And I don't understand hookah bars. I mean, you gotta like hookah.
Right.
I mean, why you take me to a hookah bar? Let's just take me to an oxygen bar.
Right. Well, I mean, those 24 and 25, those basic bars. Going to the bar is not the place to go. Now, I mean, Waffle House, Waffle House is like that. Now, I'm a Waffle House fan. However, I wouldn't even go on any
Waffle House is after
you married.
That's after the day after.
That's like
that's after the after party.
Right. That's like going to Denny's.
After the party is after the party.
Right. Waffle House is where you go, after you get married, maybe you go there and have a...
Not necessarily. Fun fact, chicken and waffles it was too late for dinner, but too early for breakfast. So chicken and waffles was it was in between the two. That's the reason why you had chicken and waffles.
Right. Well, that's where Roscoe's Waffles, chicken and waffles, which we didn't get to go to when we were in L.A. We drove by it, but didn't get to go.
Some of these tourist spots are no longer. It's just.
Yeah, they're all right.
It's just a tourist spot.
And then
it doesn't have the same meaning as it did on its heydays.
Well, sporting events, people say don't go to sporting events. So
I enjoy football. I enjoy going basketball, baseball, or whatever. So it's something. If he says I got tickets to the baseball game,
we'll go. Okay, but not on the first date.
Why not?
I wouldn't go on the first date too. I mean, then again, you do get to see how a person is in a crowd, how they're gonna cheer.
Oh my God! Remember? It was Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, and I can't remember the name of the show, but he loved some sports team. I don't know what city he was in. If anybody remember, and it was to a point where him and his friends used to go to the whole Florida for the whole whatever you call it.
Is it basketball? No, it wasn't basketball.
No, he had the whole sports outfit and stuff, and and he was like, okay, I want to show you something in my closet. She's like, oh, goodness. Please don't let me the toes and the hair.
No, worse. The little like the cat outfit. Okay, we'll leave that one alone. But he never took her to those events. But it was a thing. I can't. It wasn't 50 First Dates, but 50 First Dates, wasn't that one?
No, it wasn't 50 First Dates.
Well, while she's looking that up, I'm gonna bring up now some guy made it, not change the image, but some men created a rebuttal to the 28, and they did theirs. Now they didn't do the numbering thing, things that here's a list of things men refuse to pay for if we are not married: bills, rent, house, car, hair, nails, bags, purses, jewelry, designers, clothing, I would say, vacations, furniture to go in your house, plastic surgery, bottles at the club, I don't know I guess the pills, car repairs, food for another man's child, gas, basically Uber and Lyft, DoorDash, snacks, and my favorite one is your tithes. Now I'm using the correct vernacular here because that says yo tithes. I can actually say, why is a man going to pay your tithes? I mean, what's it his responsibility to pay your tithes? Bills, I mean, goes back to one of our other things. He's not your sugar daddy in some cases. Now, if that's on the first date. If you're not married, now, if you're planning on getting married, brothers, you got to step up. If you're in an engaged situation, some of those things you need to step up on. Because some of these things I stepped up on. I think I paid. You got your car, and I think I took over paying the car notes. I don't know what ZA means. I think they mean the pills. I don't know what ZA is. We have to go ask our child what that is.
Pills? What do you mean pills?
I guess that means your pills, your birth control pills. I didn't write this list. Okay.
So I'm gonna throw this out there.
Okay, throw it out.
My birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't planning on giving me nothing?
I'm gonna get you something on your birthday.
No. But I'm just throwing it out there. What's on the list? I mean, you're not gonna plan on even giving me no jewelry?
That's what I'm saying.
And no purse?
So I'm looking at this. I'm actually on the side. I'm the guy looking at this list like, bro, what's wrong with you? Now my thing is their rebuttal. I'm like, okay, first of all, if you're in an engaged situation,
you're not going to give me money for gas.
I mean, come on. Now, if she, going back to your story, now, if the situation was reversed and she needed gas as a man, even though you're trying to go on the first date with this person, you can't. It's not
even the first date. He said these things refused to pay for it if we were not married.
Right.
So you're saying you refuse to give me gas money if I needed it. If I'm out there stranded on the side of the street, I should not be calling you.
Exactly. In fact, I'll take that buster and throw him out. I mean,
I'm about ready to lose my mic.
She's about to lose her earpiece up in here. When I saw this, I'm like, because I'm gonna break it down like this, fellas. When we met, she had bought her Ford Escort.
Yes.
I made sure her car insurance was taken care of, and then I think she made maybe 1 or 2 car note payments, and we were still dating. So guess who paid the car note all the way till it was done? And we weren't married when I started. I think I even helped pay. I think I even paid the car insurance. So when I saw this, I'm like, So if you're not, sometimes initiative, there's nothing wrong. Now, if she's I'm gonna be real. If she's not a gold digger, because brothers know you gotta be careful with that. I understand. However, if this is a woman that you are going to marry, you know in your heart you're going to marry them. What's wrong with taking care of the bills, the rent, the house, the car, hair, nails, bag? First of all, if you're in a dating situation, brother, you need to be, some of that stuff on the list you need to be doing. You need to be like, now, sometimes you got to be careful with women saying, I'm going to pay to get your hair done, because some women may go off on
the plastic surgery part.
That's crazy.
Bottles at the club. I mean, so basically, what are you there for?
Basically, I didn't want to show the real man. I didn't want to embarrass the brother who had the guy they had on the post. I just picked this nice dressed guy. But let me just say it like this. I guess you don't have no woman. You are not dating.
Is it just, refuse to pay? Well, I guess the only thing he'll pay for is your child's food. Because that's
no, he's not paying for that either.
Or food for another man's child.
No, so I'm going. Now, let me tell you, my mom and my dad were not married. So let me help y'all out. Let me tear into this a little bit more. As somebody who's raised in a single parent household, my mom had her boyfriend. She had a steady one. He was a cool guy. And I ran into him a few years back. When they went on the date, guess what? He bought food for me too. They would go to Dairy Queen. Guess what? Back in the day, we're old enough to remember when Dairy Queen had the little red boat with the banana split, and I was happy to get I said, I don't care about the ice cream. Just bring me back that banana split boat. They brought me food back too. So some of this stuff, brother, is like, especially if it's a woman who has a child, you got to also win that child. I'm just saying. So food for another man's child is like you don't want that woman, because she gonna see how you treat her child. If you treat her child, you already did all this list. Now someone say, okay, I only expect the bills and my rent paid. But if she says, hey, I need a little help this month on my rent, and you've been dating for years and haven't put the ring on it.
I guess my thing, even if you were dating for a week or two,
first week. I would. This list really, in my opinion, this should be like a list of things you refuse to pay for on your first date. You just met the guy the first 30 days and you already asked for that. Yeah, I can understand that.
If you go back to the other one and you think about it, they said first date, they didn't say nothing about the mall. You can take me to the mall so you can spend money on me. But I'm like, I won't necessarily say first date because this guy just basically don't want to do nothing with the relationship. I mean, all we do, what are we then? I mean, that's exactly what it is.
He wants. Let me explain to you the parallel. He wants the number 7 on the list. He wants to have a date at your house,
right? And
he wants the number 21 movie night. And now, if he says let's go to your house for coffee, he's like, okay, we know what you want,
right? All right, because I mean, I'm like this dude. I was just saying. I don't look. Yes, on the when we first meet, of course, you don't have to pay my bills. Car repairs is kind of funny.
Yeah,
because I deal with my daughter's car repairs. In my mind, I'm like, girl, you need a boyfriend.
But that's for us as a parent. But looking at the other guys trying to do his rebuttal, is like, well, maybe we're wrong.
So I'm like, girl. You just get somebody to help you pay.
Oh yeah, Linda just threw in and paid for the babysitter.
Yes, Linda, I hear you, girlfriend, because it's possible, right? They want to pay for the babysitter. You want me to go out with you, but somebody got to stay home for the babysitter.
It's like this. Look, in love, if you really want that person, courting is important.
Yes.
Now, did we have a long courtship? I would say it was short. But when I remember meeting her,
we met in May of '94.
94, I got kicked to the curb for a season. Yeah, she did. She kicked me to the curb for a season.
Yeah.
And it was a short season. It was mainly like maybe.
Technically, the stuff went by so fast. We were into, I was into stuff. I was, so
I wasn't ready, and honestly, I wasn't ready.
Kid, and then it wasn't until.
We really got serious probably around that
95. So
95.
The first.
It was the first beginning in 95 when we did our first in February. We really, I had to find myself. I wasn't ready, being honest, because we didn't tell the one part of the story that how I was supposed to went to Great Faith.
Yes.
And I was always being pulled there. I was being pulled there back when it was on Avondale. And the day I wanted to go.
That's the church I was already at.
Yeah, and when I wanted to go, I looked up there and went, where's Faith Temple?
Right.
It was gone. They had moved by the time I was ready to go there. I was like, oh, okay. And then we just, through God, we reconnect. I mean, it was a strong pull there. I never really, now they're hearing it.
I didn't pray hard enough to get them all in there.
It was a strong draw to go there. And at the time, I was going through some things. And it's just like, I think had I been obedient, now to understand obedience better, things would have turned out differently, but I was being disobedient. In my disobedience, I missed double blessing. I had got into a situation I shouldn't have got in, and I missed my blessing right here. So, but now we reconnected.
Well, I mean,
we reconnected years later.
The blessing would have came earlier.
Right, it would have came earlier. So I missed the early receiving of the blessing. And so that was my problem. I decided not to... that was my problem, my fault. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I knew where I was supposed to be, and I've been there for some years, and I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about relationships, because you do have your examples. You have a couple examples in your life for how to run your marriage. You have your parents, good or bad. You have sometimes your other friends. I had friends who had a really good marriage. My best friend, him and his wife, they married, I think, like a few weeks after he worked at Danny's and she worked at Danny's. They got married. They've been together for close, I think, 30 years now, over 30. And then you have your pastors. We have our pastors, our spiritual parents, Apostle Wayne T. and Dr. Burley White Jackson. Those are the examples we have of strong marriages, strong relationships, how to live a life that, of giving. Now we're still growing. Now, do I do stupid stuff? Yeah, I do it every once in a while. Do I not listen? Yeah, every once in a while. But that's just something that we do as men. I remember my grandpa and my grandparents, my grandma, my grandfather would hear what you're saying, but he's focused on something else, but they still loved each other. It was kind of a hilarious thing. And we didn't go on that one part about do you call your pet names for your spouse. We're going to go on that real quick. And some people will say, I think it's our generations, basically our generation up, we started using like bae, honey, all these different little names for our spouses. And I remember I was telling Angie, I said, all I remember my grandparents calling each other was Asbury and Addie. That's all I remember hearing in the house. I didn't hear honey. I may have heard it once or twice, but when I heard when you get called by your legal name, most people today like, okay, why you call me by my legal name? What did I do?
Government name.
Government name.
Hey.
Well,
yo.
Sometimes she's yo, hey, woman, what's up? How you doing? And that's pretty much how things are. The whole thing. And I clicked on the wrong thing. Here we go. There we go. Clicking on the right stuff. So, but yeah, it's been love is a fun experience.
Some people calculate love to a point where I mean it's like I don't love you anymore.
But you know what? That means you didn't love them to begin with.
And sometimes when you're with somebody for a very long time, and sometimes you find your life is not where you wanted to lead it to. But sometimes, and then love is really something. That emotion could make you and break you in a way.
Yeah.
So because you love somebody so much that you'll take certain things from that person. Right. Without knowing that, this is toxic or you're in a toxic relationship.
I had a friend that was going through that.
And so you don't know until, even when your friends are trying to tell you or somebody, you just don't know because you're saying, because you don't know that this isn't love when you're in a toxic relationship. But you're thinking it is love because maybe something's going on with your family or friends or somebody you saw. But sometimes love could be that you do love the person so much, but
you can smother them.
But yeah, and it's like you're not yourself anymore.
Right.
You find yourself that you're just with somebody, because you with that person. If I'm always on my catering to him and his needs all the time, then what about mine? So you lose yourself in all that. So it's up to the man, your husband, to make sure you are straight.
And it goes both ways.
It is he who finds the wife, but yet you gotta make sure that you're not always taking.
Yeah, you have to learn to appreciate each other for our flaws. Do I have flaws? Yeah. Does she deal with them? Yeah. Does she get mad at me? Yeah. But don't let the sun go down on your wrath. That's one thing my grandfather always said. He always said in a marriage, don't make yourself.
I as women, we always got our emotion time comes and hits, and sometimes, we say stuff out of stupidity. But that doesn't mean that we don't love each other. This is at the point that we just say something out of stupidity.
Coming on 28 years of marriage, if I haven't figured you out by now, and if she hasn't figured me out by now, okay, something's wrong. If I can't handle swings, if she can't handle, look, even though we're over our time, because I do have to make a quick call, I was a mess. I had anger issues, and she dealt with those anger issues, and it took a while to get out of me. But I held on. I had a lot of pent-up anger. I had a lot of keyboards flying across the room, but she still stuck with it, and she didn't give up on me, and look, 28 coming up on 28 years.
Boy, it's like prayer.
Yeah, I had issues
a lot.
I was not always the nice guy. I had a temper. I had my dad's temper. Okay, I had Alvin's temper, and then I found out later talking to my aunt. He got it from his father. So there was a temper. I had to learn to control it. Now, of all my siblings, there's only two of us. It was more, it wasn't that you had a temper because of your father or whatever. I was just angry.
Yeah.
I was just angry.
Yeah.
In fact, I wrote a movie script. She read, she said, "You were so angry up in this script." It's to the point where I put all my anger into a script that we never... I have not opened that script up in probably... I know where the script is at. I haven't even opened that script up in probably 25 years after she told me, said, "You were angry." And I haven't even touched that movie script. When you read that script, it's full of anger. And so I can't... if I even open that script, I may have to just rip it apart, burn it.
That was kind of the reason why we got engaged in Christmas '95 and then get married till September of '96.
Yeah, and the recovery rate hit 28 this year.
Watch it, Roseanne, and she said a man is like a donut with nuts on it. You just got to pick out the stuff.
Yeah, she got me under control. I learned how to. The thing is, I think we really just got our rhythm. Maybe a year 20, we had our rhythm, but we really got the rhythm more now because you stick with it. I have friends I know people who in general have stay married they had a set period of time they're going to stay married, and they left their spouses. And I'm like, how are you going to put an expiration date on your marriage? That means you didn't love this person to begin with. Oh, wait a minute, I know why you did it, because the children grew up, and so you're going to have this expiration date so you don't get caught with paying child support. I'm just saying. So that's one of the things, you just got to get that person's rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, so love is that emotion. Love emotion is really some love and hatred, you know.
Oh, we'll probably talk about hate on our next one, because we're in a world full of hate, jealousy. I mean,
envy, my gosh, God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son.
And this envy and jealousy and
strife
is horrible.
And hatred is something.
I mean, we hate people, and I don't like the word hate.
I mean, how can you love God and say you hate somebody?
I don't know. I think we need to save that for another topic, because we are so over time.
So, Segre.
Yeah, we'll have that. Happy Black History Month. Our next one is in March. One of the things we want you all to do is follow us, involved on our socials. Get with the Garrison House Podcast on Facebook, Garrison House Podcast on YouTube. Come on over there. We're going to start posting stuff a little bit more. We are busy people, because she's been doing stuff this week. She's been tied up in work. At some point, there's some things I have to do, but I had to put on headsets because she's on headsets. Helping people out. So she's had a very busy week. So we want you all to follow us. If you're on Amazon Music, follow us there. If you're on Apple Music, follow us there. Spotify, follow us there. These podcasts do show up on Spotify usually the next day. I get them up there, and so you can enjoy them, the audio only version. And if you're on the audio only version, come on over to Facebook, the Garrison House Podcast. And we just want to let you all know we are happy that you joined us this evening.
Yes, thank you so much for all you guys coming in and joining us. We're just having fun. This is the reason why the podcast. We're not here trying to preach or try to conspiracy theories, but we just want to have fun and just talk about stuff and just communicate with you guys and just let you know that we're here. We're loving this time we're spending with you guys, and just follow us on our platforms. We appreciate it.
And follow her on Undercover. She has her lingerie store, so you'll see that. We don't have that commercial in here. However, just check us out. And then on BTV, we have a Black History special. I'm trying to wrap up this week and get that on. So on the BTVs, just follow our social media there, and you can see when that's coming on. I just want to let you all know I'm Darnell.
And I'm Angela.
And thank you for watching
Garrison House.
See you all later.